Good evening, friends. Stephen Ben-Nun here with Israeli News Live, and there's a couple of things I want to share with you guys that are going on, of course, by Jewish people exposing things that are happening in the Middle East there, especially this one young woman here, Miss Simone Zimmerman. She is a former Israeli soldier, now become activist, and the reason being, as she'll say in her own words here, is because of what she had been grilled into her mind as being the truth about Zionism. She comes to find out is not true in the first place. Let's listen into this on Al Jazeera.
She also campaigns against anti-Semitism and its weaponization by the pro-Israel lobby. But she wasn't always on that side of the argument. Simone Zimmerman was raised a committed Zionist. Her transition away from that way of thinking forms the core of an award-winning documentary called Israelism that was released last year.
I wanted to know answers from within my own community, and nobody could answer those questions for me. How is it that I am like the best the Jewish community has to offer? I've been through all the trainings, all the programs, and I don't know what the occupation is. I don't know what the settlements are.
Simone Zimmerman joins us now from New York City. Simone, thank you for speaking with us here today at the Listening Post. In that documentary, Israelism, a core theme was your personal turn away from Zionism. To start with, talk about your former self, the pro-Israel activist. What did you believe at the time, and how did you come to disbelieve it?
Well, I grew up with a narrative about Israel that was incredibly romantic and frankly simplistic. I grew up with an idea of my commitment to Israel as inseparable from my Judaism. I grew up spending a lot of time in Israel, and I planned to go be an Israel advocate on my college campus. We often said that that was the other battlefield. You know, the college campus is the battlefield for Israel's legitimacy. And so I wanted to go help tell the truth about Israel. Now that all got quite complicated for me when I began actually meeting students on my campus who had different life experiences related to Israel in different ways. I began reading texts by both Palestinian and Israeli historians who complicated the story of 1948. I learned about the Nakba, the mass displacement of Palestinians in 1948 that led to the founding of the state. And very quickly, that narrative was complicated and shattered for me.
And you're not the
Very much shattered, and I'll include the link for this interview here that Simone Zimmerman did. And she's very much like ourselves, you know, coming from a Jewish background and believing wholeheartedly in Israel and supporting Zionism, only to find out it's not all what you think it is. Another interesting one here is Brett McDonald here on putting out this particular inside secretive work of Israel. Listen to this. Excuse me.
Through various social media channels that aren't the Israel Project's channel. So we have a lot of side projects that we're trying to influence the public debate with. So that's why it's a secretive thing, because we don't want people to know that these side projects are associated with the Israel Project.
TIP runs a collection of Facebook communities that cover topics ranging from history and the environment to current affairs and feminism. But their affiliations to the Israel Project are deliberately vague.
Why is it that they can't be connected to the Israel Project? I think it's because, like, we want to be people to view them as objectively as possible. We have a team of like 13 people, and we're working on a lot of like videos, explainers. A lot of it is just random topics, and then maybe like 25% of it would be like Israel or Jewish based.
That's wild, to say the very least there, right? Look at that there, the last one. Unbelievable. And the funny thing is, the ISIS militants, when I lived in Israel, a good friend of mine, high-ranking officer there in the Israeli military, said that they had saw the leading ISIS commanders all wearing tzitzit. Imagine that, right? Some crazy things, and this is just a little inside look for you. This is another interesting post I ran across I wanted to share with you. This here at African Herbsman. And the video is 2 decades old, they say here. Sheikh Imran Hossein. Listen to what he says here.
As soon as Israel attacks Iran, and my opinion is that Israel is not going to attempt to deliver a knockout blow. Israel will attack Iran in order to commence wars that she hopes will follow one after the other. As soon as...
So there you have it. So she'll do it so the wars will follow one after another. Well, oddly enough, they put on there this picture right here, the Greater Israel Project. Inside the red lines there, that's what Israel wants to be able to control from the Nile to the Euphrates River. But even the northern part of it, if you look at it, it connects to the ancient Khazarian Empire, modern day Ukraine. At least that northern part of it is there. And then, of course, Georgia, the southern part, and then parts of Russia. It's getting a little bit wild, if you ask me, as you begin to look at how this information is going on out there. Iran, though, claims that they will respond to Israel's attack, and likely before the U.S. election. The Iranian source that I have believes that it's over, that it's done, that they will not respond. So I guess only time will tell. If they do, the only reason I could see where they would is because the Ayatollah Khamenei is diagnosed with cancer and is not expected to have long to live. So he might just be getting crazy and be willing to go right all out and show flexing his muscle back. Who knows? Who knows? It's kind of interesting he's diagnosed with cancer, especially in light of the fact I was told that they would end up finding a way to poison him and take him out. And I shared that with you guys publicly. Also, too, Spain. Look at the floods that are going on over there, right? I mean, it's just nuts. Floodwaters of Spain. Weather is just going kind of nuts everywhere. Speaking of going nuts weather, we did 3 days ago, we posted, I forgot to even tell you guys, except for a little short video that I did, we posted the second part of the series of Planet X. It's actually the most viewed video I've ever posted on Patreon. According to the series review there, when I was looking at my Patreon account there, it said 1,400 and some odd views on that series. I think a lot of people actually really enjoy looking at that, and we're going to be starting, hopefully tomorrow, the new series on Mena, Arkansas, that drug ring that was going on, the Iran-Contra affair. And of course, there's other parts of that I knew about firsthand. All the drug running and smuggling from ships to airplanes, and now even evidence that I was given airline-type aircraft being flown into Mena, Arkansas. Can you imagine that? Not just those little planes like they show in that movie. I mean, this is crazy. But yeah, you're going to learn a lot more. So go join us over on Patreon. Israeli News Live. That's patreon.com/Israeli News Live. Love to have you over here. Definitely come join with us there You can join in, if you're able to do $5 a month, that would really be wonderful. Just however God lays upon your heart. Also, too, if you feel in your heart, want to support the broadcast, please do. Dinner Institute, P.O. Box 156, Sunbright, Tennessee 37872. By the way, that article right there on our website, you're about to get an explosion of information coming up. That's coming up very, very soon. It's going to shock and rattle the world. I wonder if Tucker Carlson will tune in for that broadcast. I'm sure he would like to. Anyway, Stephen Ben-Nun here with Israeli News Live. Blessings to you all. Have a great evening.